friends, welcome back to the Bright Side of Beauty podcast presented by Beyond Skin Aesthetics. Before we get into today's episode that I am thrilled to be bringing you today, I have two requests. One, if you have not given us a rating or review on wherever you are streaming right now, please go and do so. It helps so much to just boost us up. We love hearing back from you, of course, but it also helps us get the word out of the bright side of beauty and share this episode. That is number two. If you can share this episode, if you absolutely love it, if you don't love it, you will love it. But if you don't love it, don't share it, obviously. Actually do share it. Why not? I mean, any publicity is good publicity, right? I don't know if we want to go with that, but please share with a friend is where we're getting at here. And then if you would like to learn more, I'm going to be linking some resources over on the Bright Side of Beauty Patreon. So you can search Delaney Danielle, the Bright Side of Beauty on Patreon. You can become a member there. I'm going to be setting up a couple different membership levels. So depending on whether you are a patient that just wants to learn more about your skin journey, or you are somebody inside of the industry that wants resources and furthering your education, we've got memberships for both of you over there. Without further ado, I am so excited to be joined today by the CEO and founder of Hydrinity Accelerated Skin Science. I love the name. I love the purpose behind the company. The more that I've learned about the company, the more I fall in love with the products and the people behind it. And so I am so thrilled to be joined by the man that started it all, Keith O'Brien. Keith, welcome to the Bright Side of Beauty podcast.
Thank you, Delaney. It's my pleasure. I've listened to numerous of your podcasts. I'm kind of a fan. I'm a Delaney fan. So
Oh, thank you.
the fact that you invited me to be here kind of makes my day.
Oh, I love that so much. So you are from a place that I think preaches the gospel of many things. It's healing souls and healing skin at the exact same time. Monroe, Louisiana. So Monroe, I am hip to Monroe because of Duck Dynasty. Not gonna
Yes,
lie. Do you get that a lot? Do you hear that?
I get that a lot. I was on a call with some people last month from London, and they said, "Hey, do you know the Robertsons?" I said, "Actually, I did. We kind of grew up together, so it was awesome." So here's a fun
Yes.
fact: if you really like Monroe, Louisiana, so here's two other things to know. It was the birthplace of Delta Airlines.
I did not
It
know
was
that.
also it was also the first place that Coca-Cola was put in a bottle.
I did not know that either. Oh my
So
gosh.
so so you have Duck Dynasty, you have Delta Airlines, Coca-Cola, and now you have Hydrinity. So there you go.
I love it. When we talk about the Robertson family and healing souls and that side, you also have a line that I have taken as my own in a way, which is, and correct me if I'm quoting you wrong, but the only person that we trust without science is Jesus Christ himself.
Absolutely.
Something
No,
along
you're
there.
right. The exact quote that in God I trust, everybody else show me the data. So you're exactly
Yes.
right. Yes.
I love that because that is how we operate at Beyond Skin. That's how I operate. I want to see what the studies are. I want to know what the science is. And I hear all these marketing claims all the time from companies of, like, I'm going to throw this out there, but like Spanx in a bottle. I love that visualization for the patient to understand why
Yes.
they're using something. But why is it Spanx in a bottle? We need to go deeper. We need to know what the science is. How's it actually working? And that's something that Hydrinity delivers on. Can you give us a background of yourself and then how you then kind of stumbled into skincare? It was an accident, was
Yeah.
it not?
It was an absolute accident. Um, and listen, I couldn't even spell aesthetics 3 years ago or 4 years ago, probably. Some days I still struggle with it, but that's beside the point. No, we were founded originally as a regenerative medicine company. And when you deal with regenerative medicine and biologics, it's all about the clinical data. It has to be a proof of concept before you can go and you can talk about it. Um, and so when we started the company, we were actually looking at wound care, spine, and oncology patients. And we saw some of our serums were just making this miraculous healing of compromised skin. And the light bulb just kind of went off. It's some of the same things really apply to aesthetics as they do in some of these other um, areas of medicine. And so we said, you know what? I think we have something that's better than what's out there right now. And so we're going to do a skincare line. And so when we did that, our first study we did was 71 patients. And people, why did you do that many? Well, I wanted to get a small p value. I thought that's what you had to have. And then now that I know there's so many case studies and studies of 10 and 12 patients out there, that's kind of the standard. But I do think you have to go back to the science. You have to go back and you have to prove that something actually works. And I don't think we need to get away from that. Just because the industry doesn't expect it doesn't mean that we have to lower our standards. And so every product that comes out, every sales representative for Hydrinity, when they come to you with a new product, you know it's been clinically validated. And so I think that's super important for what we do, the trust that we ask people to give us. And so we're going to back that up. We're going to validate that with good science, great ingredients, and great outcomes.
Going back to ingredients, I love to talk about ingredients, sourcing. I think that that is truly the fundamentals of what you are putting into our magical little bottles that we have to do all the wonders on our
Yeah.
skin and our body. So I want to go all the way back here to
Okay.
the beginning of Hydrinity, which starts with hyaluronic acid. It starts with your HA. Can you tell us a little bit about your HA and why it's different?
Yeah, no, I tease, and if you've heard me speak before or talk to people, I tell people, and people make fun of me. I have this huge man crush on hyaluronic acid
Yeah.
because I think that it's the most underutilized and wrongly utilized molecule out there because it does so much if you use it the right way. And the problem is most people don't use it the right way. But what we found was that we could make HA and we could do it without adding heat to it. And when you don't add heat to something, it makes it a different molecule. It makes it stronger. It makes it better. And so really we were the first ones to do it without heat. And when you do that, you don't break it down. It doesn't break up into balls. It's more like your normal body's HA. Long, slender molecular chains that peptides can attach to it, get down to the dermal layer. And dermal, you'll hear me say this. If we talk for 15 minutes, you'll probably hear me say this a couple of times. True skin rejuvenation and true skin health only happens at the dermal layer. You have to get it there. It's not surface level. That's where true healing really begins and true change happens. Um, and so our low molecular weight's able to penetrate down to the dermal layer, take the other ingredients that we use in our products, um, and it really changes. And that's one of the reasons that we get such rapid results with our products.
So, two of your flagship products are restorative HA and then renewing HA. Can
Yeah.
you talk about the difference between those two?
Yeah, no, that's a great. I get that a lot, and so here's where let me tell you where they're alike first, and I'll tell you where they're different. Number one is they both use injectable grade HA. We're the only company that uses 100% injectable grade HA, and so it's the same that you would use for an injection. Please don't inject it though. Don't, that's not what our products are for. But there are that pure. They're injectable grade that we use. Uh, So they both have twice the amount of HA, but they also have the right molecular weight. So when you use HA, you have to make sure you use the right molecular weight. You can put as much as you want into a product, but here's the other thing: it's not ingredients; it's formulation. Formulation even matters more than what ingredients do. Um, we use dual molecular. We use a high and a low molecular weight. Low molecular weight to get down to the dermal layer. The high molecular weight for great skin barrier protection. And you do need both. Renewing is the one that when you come in and when people say, "Hey, I just need a little touch up. I got some fine lines and wrinkles," it's the everyday product that everyone should be using. It's one of my favorite products that we have. It's great. Lift, tightens, and plumps is what it does. It's got a couple of peptides in it that really tighten things up, and you'll see fine lines and wrinkles really quickly start to dissipate. The restorative serum is like the name says, restore. Um, if you have redness in your skin, eczema, rosacea, here's the other thing: is I don't draw a line in the sand very often, but when I do, it is on restore. As far as a post procedure product, I don't think there's anything better because it reduces the inflammation. It's an analgesic effect, and it cuts the downtime down. It has this other ingredient, Gache Mexican, in there that reduces your skin temperature between 1 to 2 degrees Celsius.
And how
And
fast
so,
does that work?
and it works right away. The analgesic effect is right away. Before and after pictures, we have tons of data, and we actually did a clinical study with a Cyton laser, an RBM laser, at 12 and a half joules, at 3 passes, at 50 microns. So we were very aggressive with it. And what we saw was 280% epithelial confluence within 24 hours. So you could already start to see the healing take place. Um, and it's just like all the other Hydrinity products, it modulates inflammation. Inflammation in itself, prolonged inflammation is bad. When you get a wound, you need to heal that. You need a little inflammation, but you don't need it for more than 24 hours. If you do, that's when you never get to phase two healing of the wound. You also get scarring that starts to happen. And that's the beautiful thing about that product is somebody can have a procedure, they do it, and in 24 to 48 hours, it's hard to tell they had something. And that's the world we live in now. Nobody wants to wait. No, it's everybody's impatient for results, and it really helps with that.
Exactly. You want results and you want them yesterday. And
Yes.
that's so important when you, as a practitioner, thinking about what you're providing for your patients. They want low discomfort and they want results as quickly as possible
Yeah.
and no downtime. And also simplified routine, which is something
Yes.
that I have absolutely embraced from Hydrinity's approach to skincare and the way that it works well with others, but that it's doing so much with so little. I'm a rosacea girl myself, so restorative was huge for me. And actually, one
Mhm.
of the products that led us to bring Hydrinity into practice. Devin, our local representative, was in for, when I say years, I mean, I think the day that she started, she walked into our practice
Yeah.
and we just brought Hydrinity on a couple of months ago. And actually, for as amazing as all the different products are, it all started with hyacinth spray. I
Yes.
started using hyacinth on my son. So I had, he's actually turning 7 months old this week that this airs. And I didn't want to use diaper cream on him. And I wanted something that I knew I could use if he had baby eczema, if he had baby acne, which he is very reactive to things. He definitely takes after his mama. He is
Mhm.
reactive to literally everything. As we started solids, he had reactions, but even that newborn baby acne that happened,
Yeah.
I was looking for an option for him. And so many people said, oh, you can just wait, it'll time out, he'll heal, babies heal so fast. And I thought, well, yeah, I could, but I also, this is what I do. And I know that
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something out
Yes.
there. So I purchased it from another girl that carries it locally and started using it on him. And within 2 days, it was completely clear. And so I started using that as his quote unquote diaper cream
Yeah.
instead. So I don't use, and zinc is absolutely incredible. There are definitely clean diaper creams out there, but it was something that I was like, I'm going to use this all over. This is just an amazing thing. So then my mom is one of my business partners and she was like, okay, I think we need to talk to Devin. I think we need to figure this out. And then Devin said, well, as somebody with rosacea, I really think you need to try restorative. I gave it to you a couple months ago. You need to use it. I promise, just use it. Trust me. So I
Yes.
started using that. So hyacinth and restorative on myself. And it was incredible. My practice immediately was like, okay, you battle rosacea daily, as we all do. If you have rosacea, it's
Yes.
something that's ongoing, but this is actually helping it. And so that's my long-winded explanation for how much I love just those two products, and it goes way beyond that. But something for my love of restorative and talking about post treatment, but even just daily use,
Yes.
restorative is also in a mask form. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between restorative in a bottle and restorative in a mask?
Yeah. No, the restorative, like you said, it's the one. I just tell everybody, just try it. I promise you'll love it, and we really do because the other thing before we talk about the mask is we work really hard on form, fit, and function because, like you said, people are impatient now. They have to like the way that it feels. And if you've ever used a Hydrinity product, they just feel different. you like it. It's an experience just putting them on. So the restorative is absolutely for everyday daily use. And so everybody kept saying, you need to do a mask, you need to do a mask. And so finally we did a mask. When I say finally, we're only 3 years old, 2 weeks ago. So, I'm a guy that likes to work fast. Um, so our restorative mask is a biocellulose mask instead of a sheet mask. I prefer biocellulose for a couple of reasons. Number one is a sheet mask, when you put ingredients in it, you only you're only going to get about 70% of what's out because they absorb in there and they won't come out. A biocellulose mask, the ingredients don't penetrate, they just adhere to it. So when you put it on, they all come out. And it has a cooling effect with it. Um, it's just the restorative mask is a lot of people's favorite product for post procedure, especially energy based devices. Then when you really heat somebody up and you want to cool them down really quickly, we have some before and after pictures that you can't hardly tell that someone had a laser treatment. The other thing is for just at home use, once or twice a week. The other thing we did is because people said, "Hey, I want a face mask, but I want something for my neck and décolleté." We couldn't create one that wasn't like a spider web where you were fighting it all the time. So what we did is we overfilled by 20%. So if you use one of those, if you use a mask, it's in a white pouch. Don't lay it sideways, leave it up because there's a lot of material still in the bottom. So when you're done, you pour that out. You can do it two ways. You put it on your face, your neck, your décolleté, or usually enough for 4 or 5 cc syringes you can take home and use for later. And so that was our way around trying to do a neck and a décolleté one. We just overfilled it, and so that way you could use it for your neck and décolleté.
More bang
You
for
do
your
it.
buck. I like it.
Yep, absolutely.
Love that. I love all of your product lines, but I want to focus in specifically on, of course, how Hydrinity came about, what makes it different. And then you just came out with a brand new product that has a brand new delivery system when it comes to retinol. It's called Retisome. And I feel like there are so many I have so many questions. So first, can you just tell us what Retisome is, and then I'll take my questions from there.
No, no, absolutely no. We could. It's no. You're right. It has a delivery system, but here's the other thing too: is that we didn't talk about. Every Hydrinity product has a delivery system, because I am a believer, like we talked about earlier, because I told you I would say it more. You got to get down to the dermal layer. That's where the true healing and that's where true skin rejuvenation and health happens. So with that, so yes, so Retisome, we've been working on this for 2 years now. It is the first retina owl with an A. It's the first retinoid product that's encapsulated in an exosome, a biomimetic exosome. So what we've done is we've taken the retinal, which is the most potent non-prescription retinoid that you can have. We encapsulated it in a biomimetic exosome made in the lab. We've also added Centella asiatica in there to help with the redness for that. So it gets down to the dermal layer. The exosome is 1,000 times smaller than a stem cell. So you know it's going to penetrate your skin. It's going to get to the dermal layer and it's going to do what it's supposed to, where it's supposed to. Because here's the thing is there hasn't been an advancement in retinoid therapy in a decade. Really nothing truly regenerative that's come out there. And so we thought, you know what, this will be something really good. The other thing is 40% of the patients and the clients that come into the clinic or the office every day can't tolerate what's on the market right now. And so there are a lot of people out there that need, so you have rosacea, like we do. If your fit's one or two, you don't have a lot of choices. And so what we did is we thought, okay, SPF, everybody has to use an SPF. But after that, retinoid products are the only products that the FDA truly recognizes as truly anti-aging or anti-wrinkling products out there. And so, when you go your ABC approach, and so we said, you know what, we can do something that works really good, works really fast, that everybody can use. And by encapsulating it in an exosome, it takes away all the reasons that people don't use retinol products. And I will tell you, the feedback has just been phenomenal so far. So, okay, I'm gonna stop and let you ask questions now. I get all excited about this product. It is so good.
I have to admit, I was extremely skeptical when I was
Yeah.
first handed it because we do carry plated exosomes. And so when you hear exosomes, I think exosomes in general, that phrase has been used as a marketing term, and
Yes.
it's not always backed up with, okay, what is an exosome and what's the sourcing of said exosome, and the difference obviously of platelet derived versus your exosomes. And
Mhm.
so I want to talk about that. Why is it considered an exosome for the
Okay.
delivery?
So there are three types of exosomes that are scientifically validated. There's the human exosome, there's a plant exosome, and there's a synthetic or biomimetic exosome that's medically engineered in a laboratory. The reason that we chose the biomimetic is because every one of those are the same size. They're perfect. You Whatever you put in those is what you get. If you use a human or a plant's pretty straightforward, but a human, you're not always sure what you're getting there. In a biomimetic, you know every ingredient, you know everything that's in that. Um, and it's not new. These have been around for years and years. So an exosome is actually the signaling mechanism from stem cells, and so they go from cell to cell, and they in their communicators and also their delivery systems. If you put what you want in there, then you get the communication that you want. If you put in there what you want, you get the delivery of what you want. So you get to manufacture these to be the precise exactly what you want. That's the reason that I fell in love with this. I like them better than even stem cells, because you can do more with these than what you can do with a stem cell.
I love that explanation. I think that that's really important to break down what the differences are in different exosomes, because I think there's this blanket understanding of exosomes being stem cells specifically or
Yes.
human derived specifically. And I think even from plant derived exosomes have kind of just been thrown out as a wash of like a marketing cop out, when it's really talking about the delivery system and what they're able to do in that communication with the cell. And at the basis of what we were doing, we were trying to heal the cell. We're trying to get down to the dermal layer and heal the cell at its formation so that it's
Absolutely.
functioning the way that our bodies are intended to function at its
Mhm.
highest capability. And so I love that. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us. It has a glowing appearance to it. What makes it glow? I mean, it looks radioactive.
No, it does. Well, here's the thing: is all vitamin A's. Every vitamin A, it has a yellow or a gold tint to it. Every So if you use another retinol product of vitamin A, if it's not yellow, then it's either a prescription that's in a pill or something like that, and that's a different. But if you don't, it's because most of the time people use titanium dioxide in it to mute the color of it. But when you mute the color, it's not as natural, it's not as potent. We decided not to do that because we want ours to be super potent. And when you use an exosome, even in the encapsulation of it, it's translucent. So when you see ours, even though it's encapsulated, it keeps it safe, but you can still see the yellow. So if you're using a vitamin A, all vitamin A's, whether they're synthetic or whether they're plant based, they're all yellow. So if you're using one and it's not yellow, then the color has just been masked. We decided not to mask the color, to embrace that as kind of this is the new gold standard.
Oh,
And
I
so we
love
embrace it.
that. Pun intended. The gold
Yes,
standard.
fun was actually absolutely intended. This is the new gold standard.
I love that. And I love too that it's helping to bring down inflammation as somebody with rosacea. Again, I was very skeptical for two reasons. One, that it was called retizome and it was kind of playing into that exosome. And
Hmm.
without knowing what the delivery system was yet, I was skeptical of, okay, is
Yeah.
it gonna hold up to the name for it? It does, absolutely. And number two, that it could actually help reduce inflammation. As somebody with rosacea, I'm constantly fighting inflammation in the
Hmm.
body. And as somebody that has an acne program and a rosacea program inside of our
Oh, yeah,
practice, I deal with it every single day, whether
every
it's
day.
myself or my patients. And this has definitely showed it actually does help reduce inflammation. Can you talk about how it does that and what all is kind of encapsulated? So I have a beautiful bottle here. I also love the new coloring as well. So that
Yes.
it's set
So
aside.
yeah, so we did that. We made a bottle because I have this is my travel size since I'm in a hotel room here. Uh,
Yes.
we made it at night just to remind people use your retinol. There, it's a nighttime product, and so it's this gray is kind of like the twilight. When your skin resets at night, it's the twilight of your skin resetting and healing, doing its healing as we sleep.
I
And
love
so
that.
so that was Chris's, our marketing genius's idea. So and I two thumbs up on that. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so there's a couple of different things. And again, this is clinically studied. We studied in 55 patients. We had zero people dropped out, and that's unheard of for a retinol product. Fine lines and wrinkles, it does the inflammation. So here's a couple of reasons why. The Centella asiatica is a medicinal plant that's been used for hundreds of years. It's great for inflammation and redness. It's a calming plant that we've used, but also we added our injectable grade HA to this product. Also, we have ectopin, we have mushrooms in this, we have squalene in this. So again, it's the formulation that really makes this. So here's the other thing: is we had a 44% increase in hydration in just 2 weeks. You never get that with a retinoid product. The other thing is it worked great for fine lines and wrinkles, skin tone, skin texture. But here's the thing that I did not expect: we had a 68% improvement in erythema. Most of the time retinoid products cause the redness, they cause the breakouts, they cause that. This had a 68% reduction, and this was done with Vizia, a third party. They measured this. This was an IRB approved clinical study that's going to be uh, published here in the next few weeks. um, we sent this out. This was somebody else did this study. It wasn't an in-house study. This product did on the healing part exactly what we thought it would do, but the inflammation, the redness, the erythema, the hydration did even better than what we had even hypothesized.
That is absolutely incredible. And I'm kicking myself for not doing my own imaging inside of our practice from starting it. I just willy nilly was like, okay, I'll throw it on and try
That's
it.
right. Yes.
And it was so fast. And it was within a couple of days that I was kicking myself. And I was almost thinking, okay, if I stop using it and then I go and I eat some fast food or I go out in the sun, I could
And I just
spark.
start breaking
Yeah.
out and I just get all red.
Yes, I can spark a flare up and then I can try to like reverse it back again and recreate it because it works incredibly and I was not expecting my own skin integrity to improve. And there's two different product lines, yours being one of them right now that have really impressed me. I have been
Mhm.
using clinical, medical grade, however you want to phrase it, but
Yep.
professionally dispensed, medical backed, science backed products since I was 21 years old. My skin, integrity wise, health wise, is very strong, other than the redness that it throws. And for me to notice a difference with a product is hard to do. And
Yeah.
this
Totally.
is one that I actually noticed a difference with. It was incredible.
No, it's we say this. We told some people this. Yeah, we were doing an advisory board, and I said, "Listen, we're actually going to deliver on the promise of regenerative medicine." That's a buzz like exosomes. Regenerative medicine's thrown out there a lot. Some of the results have not been that great. This is, we believe, we're actually delivering on the promise of regenerative medicine with this product.
And you're putting people back into the equation too. So
Yes.
you didn't start with we want to create a skincare brand and let's see where it goes. It started with we want to heal people. And
Yes.
it started truly as a regenerative medicine brand
Yeah.
that then fell into skincare. And I think that that is truly what has sold me, where I'm now a lifetime fan of Hydrinity. And where did the name Hydrinity come from? I should have asked this at the beginning. I've been curious.
No. So hydrinity is skin that's hydrated is just going to be, because this is from some of the surgical past. Hydrated skin, you're when you do surgery on it, it heals better. And so we said we're going to make something hydrated, because the HA is hydrating, not moisturizing, it's hydrating. And we were just kicking around the table one night, and we're talking about hydration. And it's got to have it has to have an H in it. We said we're going to the H actually the H came first, the Infinity H. It's like, oh man, I love that H for hydration. And then we did the Infinity, and the name just kind of came. It's like hydration, like Buzz Lightyear to infinity, hydration to the power of infinity. And so if you look at that hydration and infinity, it's hydrinity, and that's how the name came apart. And it really is hydration and HA, because you put the H in there. We tried to put an H in there, it just didn't work. That's how hydrinity came to. That's how we came up with our name. And at first we'll just be hydrinity skincare, but then we got our clinical data back. It's like that really doesn't do it justice. We had accelerated results. It had science, and so Hydrinity accelerated skin science. Is it? It was an evolution. It wasn't. We just didn't
Yeah.
sit down at a table and said, "Hey, here's the name of it." But it did happen all within about 60 days.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I have a background working for Disney. That was my previous life before I went into
Oh,
aesthetics. So with Infinity and Beyond, you're speaking my language, Keith.
yeah,
I love that. Well, just another reason to love Hydrinity so much. I love that. Okay, I love to ask all of my guests when they come to join me on the Bright Side of Beauty podcast, because we like to make the beauty industry more approachable, brighter. We like to
yeah.
shine a light on the positive that we are doing in the world. I like to ask all of my guests one question. That question is, what is something that is beautiful to you?
Just wow, you're asking hard. This
I
science
know.
stuff is easy. This is really hard stuff. What's beautiful is just being kind. You know what? I think we've been tasked. We talk about science and to love your neighbor. Let's just be nice to people. Give people a pass. Show people grace. We all we all make mistakes every day, and we can get upset with people. And believe me, my people say I get upset. So it's like, come on, we can do better. But I just think to show people grace and kindness, because you know what? I need you to show me grace and kindness, because I'm going to mess up. And so I just think if everybody just gave everybody just a little more grace and kindness, that's beautiful to me. It's
Oh,
just be nice to people. Just give people a pass. If somebody's heart is good and their intentions are right, it's okay. We're not going to get it right all the time.
I love that. I think that that goes back to the base of how Hydrinity started. I think that goes back to just human relations. It's putting the person back into it. And I think excellence comes from that. When your heart is in the right place and you're doing something out of kindness and out of wanting to better somebody else's life, that really is beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you, Keith, so much for joining us today. I hope to have you back on next time Hydrinity brings something wonderful to the market. So we're going to write it down now. I'm going to hold you to it, okay?
I promise. I promise we will do that. So we're already working. We have this great product, and that's one of it. My team, they just scratched their head. We got two or three other things in the pipeline already. So we're trying to keep elevating
I love
elevating
it.
skincare,
We all
driving
move
it to the next
fast.
level.
So it'll probably be
Yes.
by tomorrow that it'll be out. Yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today and to help with educating. For all of those that are listening in, again, if you loved this episode, please drop us a comment, leave us a review, and I will be also putting some resources to further look into some of these products that we've been talking about over on Patreon. And we will see you next week on the Bright Side of Beauty podcast.